Hey everyone, we're The Violet Reality. I'm Casey Rain.
I'm Kim Chameleon.
And welcome to This Week in Prince, episode 36.
Going on to 40.
So, big thing that's happening right now, and the most important thing that's happening right now, at least as far as we're concerned, is that the NPG New Power Generation are on tour in Europe right now.
Yes, they are.
In case you didn't know, in case you don't follow us on Twitter and Facebook and whatnot, we went to the show at Hyde Park on Friday.
We did.
British Summertime Festival. Not only that, we were invited there on their guest list, and we went backstage, hung with the band, and then this happened.
We're here with the NPG. Everyone in the shot. The Violet Reality and the NPG.
And stereo.
Who just did an amazing set here at British Summertime Festival, and about to do another one. And we got my man Corey here as well. Everybody knows Corey from the Prince fan community, and we're all rocking here. And we got Sunny T over here joining us.
Sunny T.
Hey,
what up? How y'all doing? God bless you. Got Barbarella.
Yeah.
Great Barbarella there.
You doing good? So just a little backstage vlog in action that we will upload and share with the fans.
Yeah.
You guys killed it, like seriously, and we're looking forward to the next part of the show.
The NPG were pretty interested in our little vlogging camera that we use with its stereo mics and its selfie flip screen, and they were loving it. So that's what happened there with that little clip. We just want to say massive shout out to their manager Jill Willis, to Catherine Anderson and Corey Tollefson for all hanging out and hooking us up, and of course the entire NPG. So Andre Simone and Kit Blackshire and Mike Scott and Kirky J and Tommy Barbarella and Sunny T and Morris Hayes, of course.
Who did a really funny video after they did.
And Tony M and Damon Dixon and did I miss anyone? I hope I didn't miss anyone.
Sorry if we did.
We love all of you. All of you guys are amazing. Absolutely amazing show. There was another show on London and Saturday night at Nell's Jazz Club. And
yesterday, Belgium?
And yesterday, Belgium. So the dates that are upcoming, so we wanted to make sure that you guys, if you're in Europe, that you have the chance to go and make sure you get a ticket. So there's some upcoming dates. What have we got?
We have got 2 dates in Switzerland. One of them is in Zurich. I'm not sure whether I'm pronouncing that the right way in English.
Zurich, I would say.
Zurich, because we would say it different in Dutch, but that's fine. That is on the 4th of July, so that is tomorrow then.
Yep.
And that is at Moods, and then we've got the NPG doing Montreux Jazz, like Prince did a couple of years ago, a few years ago, not even that long ago. Some of you must remember that. Tell us in the comments below if you were at that Montreux Jazz that Prince was at.
Yep, and then we've got 2 shows in Paris, or close to Paris, and these shows are part of Enghien-les-Bains is the name of the place where they are. My French is terrible, so apologies to any French viewers if I said that completely wrong. I think it's Enghien-les-Bains. I think that's how you say it. Yeah. But there's 2 shows there as part of the festival that's ongoing there. So these 2 shows are on the 7th of July. The first show at 8 PM and the second show at 10:30 PM. So make sure you go to the official NPG Facebook page to get all the details on each gig and how you can buy tickets and whatnot, as well as see some cool clips from the shows that have already happened and promo and stuff like that. And Morris and Tony were on Good Morning Britain doing an interview for there and all that kind of stuff.
It was awesome,
So that clip that we just showed you of us, that's going to be included in a full video that we're going to put out
about the day that
in a couple of days, which is going to include live footage. So, our backstage clips and live footage and a few adventures that we had on that day at the festival. Now, one of the awesome things about this camera that we use for vlogging is that it has stereo mics on the front and an outdoor festival setting. So when you're actually filming gigs, and especially outdoor gigs, you can hear the sound perfectly. So we've got some cool clips of 4 or 5 different songs that the NPG played, and we're going to include those in our video that's coming out in a couple of days, so you guys can see for yourself the awesomeness of the NPG show.
The crowd was so nice though. The crowd was like so involved with it, and they were like playing like hits, but they were also playing like some proper 90s stuff. Actually.
All right, let's stop talking now, because that's part of the next video, like reviewing the show.
We're just hyping you up for this because it's going to come out soon.
So NPG, make sure you go to the gigs if you can, and now we're going to move on to the next news news of the day, and that is the thing that has been a popular topic of discussion in the Prince fan community over the last week.
Jay-Z threw some shade to Londell McMillan in one of the new songs on his new album.
Yep, as you know, Jay-Z had done a deal with Prince before he passed with Tidal for some albums. That deal, you know, wasn't continued after Prince's passing. Whether you agree with that or not, it's likely it just comes down to business, but Jay-Z has decided that it would be a good idea to personally mention Londell on a track, which is a bit weird because 99% of Jay-Z fans, will they know who Londell is? Will they care? It just seems a bit of a strange thing to put in your art. I mean, I believe that people should keep their art and their business separate. I mean, Prince surely had a few bad business dealings over the years, and you didn't really see him put people on blast in his songs that much, especially not by name. So, but it is what it is. People have their own opinions. Feel free to drop in the comments what you think.
Yeah.
It's clearly a lot of ongoing things. If you've watched all of our This Week in Prince videos, so all 36 videos, including this one, then you're probably quite up to date with all of the court stuff and all of the ongoings that have happened.
Yeah, and then you will
in
know
the last
that
6 months.
obviously Jay-Z like tried to make a deal to get like a hold of
The
Prince's
vault
vault, and then that didn't go through because he probably offered like nowhere near enough money, like as much as it would be worth. Because you know the vault is so special to all of us, and we want that to be in really good hands. And I just think that it's a bit to throw shit at someone in your song. Like, just go talk to them face to face. Then don't do that like behind their backs and like throw shit at them. But
Exactly.
you all have a right to your own opinions here, and if you think that Jay-Z had the right to throw shade at Londell, you can tell us as well. We will not judge you for anything. Just like get a healthy discussion going in the comments about this.
Yeah, I think probably the really interesting thing is that Londell actually doesn't care. He's a successful businessman. He has lots of things on his plate to worry about without having to think about a rapper attacking him on a track. Like, I don't think he cares that much, to be honest. So I think the fans have discussed this about 1 million times more than anybody that's actually involved with this, which is probably what Jay-Z wanted. It's all PR, isn't it, at the end of the day?
It is, everything that's like a bit controversial.
Talk about Prince in a song. Everybody will talk about it.
Talk to copies.
Exactly. I mean, even my post about it became news somehow.
It must have been a slow news day.
I know, right?
Oh well. So yeah, guys, just tell us what you think about it. I mean, if you think that he was right in doing that, tell us. If you think he was totally wrong in doing that, tell us as well. Like, yeah.
Exactly. But let's not dwell on it too much, because actually,
we already kind of did that.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
So, Matthew Bitton, who many of you guys know, has worked on several Prince projects, including Ultimate Prince and more recently Purple Rain Deluxe as a consultant.
Yep.
Well known in the fan community, also well known as being Lenny Kravitz's photographer. He posted up something cool.
He did,
that I don't know if he owns it, if that's something that he got in an auction, or if
maybe.
somebody who does have it, sent it to him and he put it up.
Took a picture
I
like
can't
that,
remember,
yeah.
but anyway, he put up
the lyrics.
The handwritten lyrics.
Yeah, handwritten to Wonderful Ass. And you know what the amazing thing about this is? There is some handwriting on there from a very special lady that worked on this song with Prince.
Yes.
Mrs. Jill Jones.
So if you're familiar with the song Wonderful Ass, it's been bootlegged for years. It just came out recently officially on Purple Rain Deluxe.
It did.
And there's the bit at the end of the song where there's loads of rhyming words.
Like a rhyming scheme.
And on the handwritten lyrics, you've got Prince's lyrics for the verses and the chorus.
Got Jill rhyming,
and you've just
that
got
last
loads
bit,
of potential rhyming words at the bottom, and those are in Jill Jones' handwriting. So to all the people who are trying to, potentially trying to push Jill aside and her contributions aside, there you have it right there.
Jill played such an important role.
Fans, as we said last week, we as fans know how important Jill was and remains in Prince's legacy. And again, we love you, Jill.
We do. Gosh, Jill, we're gonna make a special about you someday because we keep talking about you.
Right?
Yeah.
Speaking of cool things that appeared online.
So we all know that amazing picture that's on the cover of Purple Rain where you have Prince on the motorcycle, Apollonia behind him, standing in the doorway there, all the smoke and him just looking so cool on the motorcycle on it. So apparently there must be several different, but there's a different version of this photo that came out just this week.
Yep, so we recently saw a alternate cover shot for Purple Rain.
Yeah.
The photo taken by
Ron Slenzak?
Ron Slenzak. Yeah. Ron Slenzak is the photographer who took this photo. And we're going to link to that in the description.
Yeah,
so check out the alternate Purple Rain album cover shot if you haven't seen that already.
It feels a little bit, yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it feels a little bit like lighter, where he's looking into the camera a bit more on this cover.
I'm surprised they didn't use it in the Purple Rain Deluxe packaging.
No, because they could have done that as well, because it's an unseen picture.
It reminds me of like when they did Bad 25 for the Michael Jackson album. At least one of the digipacks had, you know, an alternate Bad cover shot. Yeah, so I'm surprised they didn't use this Purple Rain shot. But oh well, at least
maybe there's like multiple ones out there as well. Maybe there's like must have been a whole photo shoot.
Yeah. But it's awesome. Yeah. So you
check it out, guys. Yeah.
Check it out. Some awesome news that came out this week that is pretty personal to me for reasons that I will explain. Shania Twain has some new music out, and during the course of the PR for her new music, she revealed that Prince had been phoning her to discuss him producing her long-awaited comeback, which is just amazing, and they couldn't make it happen, they couldn't make it work, but it's just so awesome to me that Prince wanted to work with Shania and wanted to produce Shania. Yeah. Some of you may remember that about 15 years ago, Prince actually was covering Shania's song "You're Still the One," fantastic song in some of his concerts, and there was some audio of it that ended up on the NPG MC, and it was really cool. Now the reason that this is particularly special news to me is that, okay, some of you may know that it's been about 15 years since Shania Twain last released music, and the album that she did 15 years ago, which is called Up, was produced by my cousins. So my first cousins, Simon and Diamond, who I also work with, and we also work with as the Violet Reality in production and songwriting capacity. They, along with Mutt Lang, who was Shania's producer and husband at the time, they produced Shania's last album Up 15 years ago. They lived with Shania and with Mutt in Switzerland at the time, in a big castle and mansion, and they spent a year producing this album with Shania and Mutt. And so the fact that Prince wanted to produce for Shania, and my cousins have produced for Shania, that's just the coolest thing to me. Like, I remember like calling them like 15 years ago, like in Switzerland, and like hearing like Shania like talking in the background and stuff, and that was just like the coolest thing. So yeah, awesome news, like worlds colliding. Yeah,
they always seem to do that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure all of you remember that iconic performance that Prince did on Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That was While My Guitar Gently Weeps.
Yep, so, I mean, if you haven't seen that, then why are you even watching this video? Go and watch. Go and watch While My Guitar Gently Weeps. So if you, in case you've forgotten or whatever, this was in 2004 when George Harrison had passed away, and they were doing a tribute to George Harrison of the Beatles, including his son Danny Harrison, and all these other people that were being inducted that year, and Prince, who was being inducted that year, and they all did a big tribute to George Harrison on the classic song While My Guitar Gently Weeps, where Prince just absolutely just tore it up with just one of the greatest guitar solos of all time. And I'm sure if you've seen that, you remember the outfit that Prince was wearing.
Red hat, and then like his beautiful black suit. Yep. So Paisley Park has given this outfit to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland. Yep,
so obviously the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame do their yearly, induction ceremony, but they also have a museum in Cleveland that has, it's kind of like Paisley Park, but like, it's kind of like Paisley Park, but just for like everyone, like all rock and roll like legends
outfits,
and music legends, and so there's like a little bits of memorabilia from like dozens and dozens and dozens of the artists that have been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So Paisley Park have either lent temporarily or possibly permanently given this the outfit that Prince was wearing when he was inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for their museum, which I just think is just an awesome gesture. And I've never been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but frankly, they should have Prince's like performance. And that whole While My Guitar Gently Weeps performance, they should have that like playing like all the time.
Next to the outfit all the time.
Maybe they do. Maybe they do. But if they don't, then they should.
So if you happen to be in Cleveland or like around Cleveland somewhere and it's like commutable for you, make sure you go and just check it out.
Exactly. Prince's photographer Afshin Shahidi has a book coming out, which we've mentioned before. It's called Prince: A Private View. It's got 250 mostly unseen photos of Prince from between 2001 and 2010. Yep. So you can kind of think of this book as you know, sort of a follow-up to Steve Parks' book. You know, Afshin Shahidi became Prince's primary photographer after Steve Parks. So while Steve Parks' book has, you know, a ton of pictures of Prince in the 90s, Afshin's book has a ton of pictures of Prince in the 2000s.
Yeah, so
it's coming out October 17th. I think you can pre-order it now. We'll put the links in the description.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's going to be an awesome book.
And then the last thing that we want to mention in this video is that the very first single of the John L. Nelson project, called Heart of Mine, is out now.
Yep, you can listen to the music that Sharon Nelson has had recorded and produced based on the sheet music that hers and Prince's father, John L. Nelson, you know, left.
Yeah.
And yeah, check it out.
Yeah, the artwork is very cool for it because it reminds us a little bit of what they did for Under the Cherry Moon, like that art house style black and white kind of vibe. So yeah.
And it's a really cool song. You can definitely hear the links between, you know, John L. Nelson's piano playing and Prince's piano playing. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree in that sense.
Super talented family. Yeah.
That's it for this week. Just as we mentioned before, we've got our MPG review coming up in a couple of days, so make sure you subscribe if you're not already. Make sure you like, share, comment on this post.
Yep.
Share it everywhere.
All your friends.
Comment
all your
everywhere.
Faces, everybody.
Subscribe if you haven't.
Yeah.
Because that's just how we do with the Violet Reality. I'm Casey Rain.
I'm Kim Camellia.
And we'll catch you next week for more This Week in Prince.
Woo,
Peace.
bye-bye.
Be wild.